All right, folks, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Trading the Death Star. We're going to have an absolute blast today, man. What interesting market action we're seeing today. Of course, if you follow Top Gun Options, you know that the only stock that you need to know is what we're going to be talking about today, Trading the Death Star. Big day, huge day in the market. We imploded, we got some back, and we're kind of hanging out in the middle here. A lot to talk about. If you're not a Star Wars nerd like me, or you raise Star Wars nerds as children, the Death Star is that massive space station that was essentially the size of a small moon, right? And got half blown out by a bunch of teenagers, but they rebuilt it, and it ended up taking over the universe. So this is why I call the stock that you're going to learn about today the Death Star, because nothing can destroy this thing, and it literally is taking over the universe, as we're going to find out about after the close today. Real quick, in my personal accounts, I have Mara with a covered call. I'm long Amazon synthetic covered, XLY. Mind Medicine, I bought 20,000 shares of Mind Medicine this week and could not be more pleased. Supporting, actually saving lives, saving veterans' lives, folks. I'm very, very excited about it. Neutral with Microsoft with an iron condor. Microsoft imploded with the overall market a little while ago. It's starting to recover. Not worried about that. I also have an iron condor on through Amazon for earnings. All right, so that's kind of what I got going on. All right, Top Gun Options. Former Navy fighter pilot. Obviously, this is going to have a little bit of an aviation and military theme to this, but I want to ask you, I'm going to give you two choices, actually. I'm going to ask you a question. Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? And I'm going to give you two choices. So here's your first choice. Take a look at that. Just looking at that picture gives me agita as an F-18 pilot. But take a look at that picture, folks. That is the F-4 Phantom. Okay, just awesome aircraft, right? Old, two engines, a lot of fuel, hydraulic fluid leaking, a lot of smoke coming out of the back, but very labor intensive, folks. The pilot would have to spend what we call a lot of heads down time staring at all of these steam gauges instead of eyeballs out of the cockpit looking for enemy aircraft, AAA, or, which is anti-aircraft artillery, or surface to air missiles, right? So, and this jet was actually so labor intensive that they had to throw a dude in the back seat just to run the radar. Over 300 switches and dials in that cockpit, ladies and gentlemen. Very, 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 very labor intensive aircraft. Or this is your second choice. Would you rather fly this? This, ladies and gentlemen, is the F-35, the Lightning II, the most advanced fighter jet on the face of this planet. Take a look at the cockpit. Two flat panel displays. Absolutely no steam gauges in this cockpit. We call this jet the Wonder Woman jet, right? I'm a little embarrassed that I'll tell you I grew up watching Wonder Woman on TV, or the cartoons, or the series actually with, what was her name? Linda Carter. Wasn't that her name? Anyway, the Wonder Woman jet. It's invisible to radar, folks. It can't be seen. This jet is so smart that it actually limits the amount of information displayed to the pilot at different portions of the flight. Why am I going to show you the hydraulics, the fuel, the electrical system when you don't need to know about it? So the jet is not only smart enough to limit the amount of information to critical mission information to the pilot, it is also, you ready for this? Learning. All these F-35s, man, are watching the pilots, and they're learning when they move the stick. Like this is some creepy stuff. We'll get into that maybe over a bottle of wine or something like that. But anyway, and speaking of Star Wars or Darth Vader, if you've ever seen an F-35 helmet, they kind of look like Darth Vader or one of those TIE fighter pilots. All of the information is displayed on their visor. There's so many sensors on the airplane that when they look down, they don't see the aircraft cockpit, they see through it. And when they look up, displayed on their visor will be, there's a threat, there's a surface to air missile, it's just, obviously I'm being facetious. Yeah, you might want to fly the F-4 Phantom. Do you want to fly the F-4 Phantom into Russia or China or Iran today? No, you don't. It's the F-35. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, by the end of our brief, This is called a brief. It's not called a long. So I will be brief. I'm going to give you up-to-date intelligence brief with what's going on. Show you the only stock you need to own. And that's going to be shocking to a lot of you. A lot of you might be like, what do you, you're wrong. I'm right, and I'm going to tell you why. And a good substitute to trade in case this stock is a little bit too pricey. Hint, it is, unless it's going to double in the next 2 years, which it will. So turn off all your electronic nicotine, no distractions, because you've never heard what I'm about to tell you. I guarantee it that you've never heard what I'm about to tell you. Real quick, if you don't know me, hopefully you do. Some of my strategic partners sent out a couple emails for me today. So if this is our first time meeting, my name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz. Last time I checked with my parents, they loved me and didn't name me Wiz. I earned that call sign flying the FA-18 Hornet for the United States Navy for about 15 years. I graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School, which many of you know as Top Gun, and also did some combat sorties over Iraq. I was also a bad guy. I was a good bad guy. So if you've seen the movie Top Gun, Jester and, Viper, and whatever the guy's name was, the instructors, right? I flew around in an adversary jet painted like an enemy MiG, and I led the enemy bad guys. Some flights I had 24 enemy aircraft that I had under my control going against the good guys and gals in the Top Gun course. It was just an absolute blast. I had a lot of fun being a good bad guy. What's this have to do with trading? Absolutely everything. Trading is a form of combat, folks. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to get their ass handed to them. Which one of those do you want to be? Why wouldn't you use the same methodologies, the techniques, the same ethos that I used as a Navy fighter pilot in your trading? It makes zero sense to me that people don't treat it like a form of combat. Do you think Wall Street's going to take it easy on you just because you're a lowly retail trader? One of my partners up in Chicago said, retail traders are cordwood, dude. We use retail traders for liquidity. That's exactly what they think about you. I was born and raised in South Jersey. My family was from South Philadelphia. One of 6 Irish Catholic kids, lower middle class. Always taught service above self. Grew up on the Jersey Shore. I loved the ocean. Was taught to serve my country. I loved flying. Wanted to be a pilot. That's a Reese's peanut butter cup that turns into, from the moment I could, my earliest memories, I wanted to fly fighter jets off of aircraft carriers. But my dad would sit there before he went into work in Atlantic City every day, reading the paper and eat my life cereal, had my face buried on the back page with all those hieroglyphics, right? Dad, what are these things? Well, son, those are stocks. And he kind of explained what they were. And it fascinated me because he's like, if mom takes you to get a Happy Meal today and you were a shareholder in McDonald's, you might actually make some money, right? So yes, this is recorded and you'll get access to the replay. So join the Navy. Always in the back of my mind, I'm like, you don't get rich flying for the Navy, folks, clearly. Otherwise, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and everybody, all these other limousine liberals would have served their country. They didn't. I did. But in 1990, now I'm dating myself, 1991, I graduated from Jacksonville University up in North Florida, drove in my brand new Ensign mobile down to Naval Air Station Key West, my first duty station. And I remember writing a check for whatever it was, $50, 70. It was a lot of money to me at the time, to the USAA Aggressive Growth Mutual Fund. That was my first investment, and I never looked back. I kind of figured too. I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm paying a mutual fund manager to pick a couple stocks. My girlfriend at the time kept Ann Taylor in business. I don't even know if they're still open. Ann Taylor in business, and I paid the American Express bill. So I made my own mutual fund. So ever since then, never looked back. I've been doing this for essentially 3 decades, folks. My methodologies, my ethos, my just about everything that I do that you're going to learn here at Top Gun Options works so well that I got popped up on the radar of one of the largest volatility arbitrage firms on the face of the planet, headquartered right here in the Chicago Board of Trade. That's our trading firm. That was our trading firm right there. 4th and 5th floor of the CBOT. That's the intersection of Jackson and LaSalle. Absolute blast, man. I helped build a hedge fund When I was there, I helped build the retail brokerage known as Options House that I think has been eaten 5 times in mergers, and I think it's finally wrapped in the E-Trade. And I was the managing director of strategy for this multi-billion-dollar firm. In my off time, my spare time up there, I was the founder and CEO of the Options News Network, ONN.TV. Went from essentially me building the company to 80,000 members in a year, under budget. Why did that explode? Well, I know John and Pete Najarian from my time in Chicago. Good dudes, bigger than me, so I got to say that. But no, good dudes. But CNBC kind of pays lip service to options, right? Final thoughts. What's going on in the options world? Okay, well, I have 2 seconds, not much. We were 24/7 options, man. I hosted 3 or 4 of the shows we did. We'd shoot on the floor of the CBOE and the CBOT, and I'd give retail investors and traders like yourself a behind-the-scenes look at what was going on in the options market. No offense to anybody from Chicago. You can keep it 9 months out of the year. It's sheer misery. Walking from Union Station to the Board of Trade in February was literally a survival situation. I'm a beach guy. I'm a Navy guy. I live down here in God's waiting room, Boca Raton, where I started Topkin Options 11 years ago. So it's, I love to jokingly tell people I'm Valentine from Trading Places. I'm literally Eddie Murphy, little old retail trader off the street up to the big leagues. I got mine, man. I had a blast. You put the ladder down. One of the reasons I hated Wall Street was it was gross. The people would push their own mother in front of a bus to make $1. That ain't me. That wasn't how I was raised. That's not the way I served in the military. You put the ladder down, and that's what I do here at Topkin Options. I support our men and women in blue. I'm on the Broward Sheriff's Office Advisory Council down there in Broward County. Unfortunately, I lost a sister to a drunk driver when she was a freshman at Villanova University. So I support MAD. I've been on the board of directors down here in South Florida to help them out. But more importantly, or not more importantly, just as importantly, last year I started a foundation at the height of this pandemic called Top Gun Fighter Foundation to try and prevent veteran suicide. 3 very close friends put bullets in their heads. We've since what was it, 2008, 2007, since I have all these statistics that I pour through. Since 2007, we've lost more veterans home than we ever lost in combat, active duty. It's a disgrace. As I give this hour-long presentation today, a veteran will take their lives. On average, one veteran an hour kills themselves. The Veterans Administration is a disgrace. The Democrats, when they were all running for president a year and a half ago, how many of you, raise your hand if you will give health care to 11 million illegal immigrants? I can't even get seen at the VA. We have 60,000 homeless vets in this country. But let's spend a shit pot of money on people who actually broke the law coming here instead of people that are walking around with traumatic brain injury, operator syndrome, anxiety, or depression. It's an absolute national disgrace. I'm going to stop it or do what I can to stop it. So I started my own foundation to try and prevent. It's heartbreaking. Guy was a Swede, was a groomsman in my wedding. Beautiful wife, 4 daughters. He put a bullet in his head 2 years ago. Anyway, so here we go. Let's get airborne. That's me, because I know looking in the chat box, a lot of people in here, I don't recognize a lot of names, which means you're new. So I wanted to introduce myself. Nice to meet you. Very passionate about what I do. So now let's do what I do after I just told you who I am. It's funny when I get to this point in this brief, because I always say you're going to be shocked, and then you shouldn't be shocked, but you should be shocked. So you ready for this? Wall Street has been lying to you. Now, half of you, of course, are just going to go, well, duh, Wiz, I showed up for this. But I'm going to tell you why they're lying. Of course they're lying to you. I told you, they push their own mother in front of a train to make $1. But this is the biggest lie that Wall Street's been telling you. You probably heard on day one of investing. You must diversify. Rule 1, open the book of investing, page 1. It's in big, bold letters. You have to diversify, right? Why diversification is important. Yeah, you must diversify. The 5 steps to diversify, blah, blah. You get beat in the head from the so-called smart money that you have to diversify. They're lying to you. As a fighter pilot, as an options trader, I'm very blunt. I don't have time not to be, so I'm going to be very direct. Diversification is for stupid people. Period. Now, let me clean that up a little bit by somebody a lot nicer than me, right? But real quick, who's lying to you? This dude. Who's that? Anthony? I don't know. I don't know what his name is. Who's been lying to you, telling you you must diversify? That guy. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have seen Wall Street or Boiler Room or The Wolf of Wall Street? How many of you have been on the receiving end of a call from your broker? Hey, Wiz, we got a hot tip. You need to get into this name today. Dude, you just called me yesterday and got me into this other name. Yeah, well, get out of that one and get into this one. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you see the word broker, delete the word broker and insert the word commission. Yacht broker, airplane broker, real estate broker, stock broker. They get paid on commission. That dude wants you in so many names to why. It's called churn. The industry term is called churn. They want to churn your account. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Commission, commission, commission. And before you even hurt your fingers typing in the chat box, well, what about the low commission brokers? Were you on the other side of Mars in February with the Robinhood fiasco? Wiz, I pay 0% commissions. If you pay nothing, this is our new country, right? More people are being paid to not work than there's everybody in this country could get a job today. The government's paying more money than they would at a job. Okay, that's great. Listen to me, folks. If you don't pay anything at your broker, you're not the customer. You're the product. Robinhood, these low-cost brokers sell the order flow when you trade to Citadel, to Stevie Cohen. It's called payment for order flow. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that, you know what, we're going to go to a no commissions here at our brokerage firm? What are they, the Salvation Way trading firm? The Salvation Army? They're not a charity, guys. They just got rid of the quote commissions because people don't like the word commission, and now they sell your order flow, which is even worse. I'd rather pay a commission than be used as the product. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are diversified in your account portfolio, you don't know what you're doing. That might leave a mark, so let Warren Buffett clean it up and be nicer than Wiz. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. That's me saying diversification stupid. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing. I don't mean to offend. I'm being direct. If you have we'll get into this in a couple seconds. You don't know what you're doing. The only stock you need to own for the rest of your life is Amazon, and they have earnings after the close today. Okay. Now, I'm a picture guy. I'm a political science major from New Jersey, a knuckle dragging fighter pilot. I need drawings. Let's take a look at this drawing. You ready for this? Annual revenue continues to grow. I have to update this chart. I will tomorrow after any. If this stopped in like 2019 or 2020. It's up. This thing goes like this, guys. In 30 years of investing, there is not one company in the history of man or womankind that continues to grow at 30. Math is insane, folks. The math at Amazon, I think their last earnings they reported, my buddy did the math. He's like, dude, they made $100,000 a second. Take a look at that picture. How about the next picture? Annual revenue by segment. I remember years ago when AWS didn't even exist. AWS is what? It's essentially Azure, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services. Now look at it. It'll be up here. All of this will look like this tomorrow morning. How about what's not listed on here? I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale, Amazon Prime. It's its own entertainment division. How about their business to business? How about in Google earnings yesterday, they said what? We printed money, however, there's somebody kind of poking around in our backyard. It's Amazon Ad Services. What happened 2 to 3 months ago? breaking news, Jeff Bezos has patented Amazon Pharma. I predict CVS and Walgreens will not exist in a couple years. Out of business. You looking for a stock to short? It's those. You're gonna get a text alert. Go to your front door, open the door. A little drone's gonna scan your face and drop your prescription in your hand. Oh, and the Gatorade you wanted. There is no reason for a drugstore. Amazon Pharma? Are you kidding me? Every industry that Amazon gets into, they dominate or they destroy, right? Amazon Prime. Folks, this is more or less turned into a holiday. People have it on their calendar. Oh, when's the Amazon Prime Day this year? It's what? Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Amazon Prime Day. Look at the billions of dollars in revenue, man. Anybody see a trend in that chart? Now, let's be totally honest about Amazon. Look at this chart. If you took me 20 years ago, brought me into the future, sat me down and hid this name, and you said, Wiz, take a look at this chart. You got it. I'm looking at it. Would you buy this stock? Holy crap. Look at the sales. Oh, geesh. Free cash flow. Hold on. The profit? I'd short this stock and I'd be broke. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain this slide to you. And this is why Democrats are kind of furious and jumping through their rear end right now. Jeff Bezos, this is why I'll be stunned today if they announce a stock split. Jeff Bezos over the years has said, I'm never going to split my stock. I'm never going to give back a dividend, and I don't want to ever make a profit. What? At the height of the scandemic or plandemic, however you want to say it, I threw out just about every one of my investing books. This ain't your father and mother's stock or stock market. Why? Jeff Bezos says, if I make $1 in this quarter, I'm spending it. I'm going to buy a competitor. I'm going to put somebody out of business. I'm going to innovate. I'm going to put it in a space program. The dude takes any profit and gets rid of it. Democrats furious. I saw the other day in the Wall Street Journal, everybody's like, aha, we'll finally stick it to Amazon. Hey, by the way, AOC, Amazon doesn't make any money. Harumph. Now you know we've lost this republic when people in D.C. actually go, well, then we'll add a sentence in there that just taxes Amazon. Welcome to China. We're going to go after just one company. It's a disgrace. Don't want to get into the politics of it, but I'm just pointing out to you, this, right? Ken, what's the rule to mention when your brokerage screws up? It's called a busted trade. Okay, so look at the math, but look at the math. All right, so don't listen to me. Hell, man, David's been here. I mean, this guy doing the Lord's work. He bought a single Jan 21 2270 call. He had been rolling the short calls against it. That base call is up to 51 grand for David Parmar. I sold the Amazon 3000 calls too early last week at 122. He made 80 grand. Dennis, my original Amazon synthetic call for June 21 this year is up $145,000, one call contract. Kevin, cumulative Amazon gains net out to 12.6, which is nicer than it seems because Kevin started $6,000 in the hole when he got here before he started following my discipline. Dennis, I'm up $8,600 on one long call contract in only 8 days. Greg, my Amazon long call diagonal is up 28 grand yesterday to cover to over 31 grand today. Whatever. Before I sit here and blow sunshine, lollipops, and unicorns everywhere, let's talk about the threats. Right? As a fighter pilot, as an options trader, I don't go on every mission or place every trade and go, I'm awesome, I'm going to win. And no, what are the dangers? Anybody ever hear of a 150-year-old company called Lehman Brothers? How about a company called Bear Stearns? Jim Cramer knows about Bear Stearns. At the height of the financial crisis, Jim Cramer looked like Khrushchev at the UN, a bald dude slamming his shoe on the table saying, Bear Stearns is a steal at $70. Bear Stearns, if you're not at Bear Stearns, you're an idiot. 2 days later, it was at zero. Good job, Jim. How about pets.com? How about Enron? Ladies and gentlemen, I could spend the next 40 minutes or whatever we have left talking about stocks that have gone to zero. At the height of the .com bubble, I think I had 2 in my portfolio. Anything with .com, and those 2 went to zero. I'm living proof that stocks go to zero. But what's the difference here? Amazon can't go to zero. You heard me. What was the common theme between these 4 examples? Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns didn't own a thing. Hell, they had to give back the Lehman Brothers sign. Who the hell bought that? They owned paper. They owned air. They owned contracts. What did Pets.com own? A stinky sock puppet and a URL, a domain name. What did Enron own? Nothing. They didn't even own the building they were in. They were a middleman of electricity. People went to jail. So, ladies and gentlemen, the common thread through all of these names is what? They didn't own a thing. Amazon. Anybody ever drive by an Amazon fulfillment center? It's like an aircraft carrier. Full disclosure, I flew for FedEx for 10 months. I hated it. I hated flying at night and delivering cargo. But I had a buddy in corporate call me 5, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was. And he said, dude, I just heard that Jeff Bezos leased 5 Airbus. I'm like, that son of a bitch is going to do it. He's like, do what? I'm like, he's going to build his own Amazon UPS postal service. He's like, no, he won't. Amazon Air by next year will be bigger than FedEx. Amazon owns things. Like I said, the fulfillment centers. I did business consulting outside of Miami about 4 years ago with an Amazon fulfillment center. It was stunning. And oh, by the way, 5 years ago, it was full of people putting stuff in boxes. They're gone. It's the Robo 5000 that makes the best person that could put stuff in a box look like the right flyer compared to the F-35. So, ladies and gentlemen, the common thread through all of that is they didn't own a thing. Amazon will always have value, right? Now, what's another potential risk? That dude. No, he isn't whiz. He's out of office. If it's not that dude, it's what? It's this. Uncle Sammy, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump, in his 4 years, twice woke up or didn't go to bed. I guess it depends on who you believe. He grabbed his cell phone and went, Amazon's a monopoly. Jeff Bezos, he took a flamethrower to Amazon towards the beginning of his term. And what happened? The stock kind of wobbled and went down. I'm like, oh, crap. Donald, what are you doing? And then the stock never looked back. 2 years later, into his presidency, same thing. He's destroying the postal service. You remember this? He is, but he's not breaking the law. So Trump took another flamethrower to Amazon and Jeff Bezos because he can't stand Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, which of course could not stand Donald Trump. Nothing happened. Well, Wiz, the FTC is poking around Amazon. Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon at this point is Mercury. You ever smash Mercury? If you tried to break up Amazon right now, I hope they break up Amazon because they would create like 5 mini monopolies instead of one big one. Amazon Air, Amazon Pharma, AWS, Amazon Prime. All of their business first of all, folks, Amazon has a CEO. Every business segment has a CEO. Why? Because it's its own company. Whenever I'm old enough to remember Standard Oil, I'm old enough to remember Microsoft, IBM, AT&T. Anytime Uncle Sam goes, we think you might be anti-competitive, it takes 5, 10, I think standard, one of them was like 15 years for the government to even like come to a conclusion. And oh, by the way, the last time I checked, Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. I'm fairly certain he's got a couple attorneys on his speed dial to fight this for the rest of his life. I have zero concern about regulatory risk against Amazon. Does that make sense? So, all right. I got to be honest with you. At Top Gun Options, I like to tell my members I wear 2 suits. I wear my flight suit, and I'll tell you how I feel as an American. I can't stand Jeff Bezos. He's your typical limousine liberal. Richest dude in the world, only recently started paying a basic wage of $15 an hour. At the height of the pandemic, people were running around his fulfillment centers without even PPE on. They couldn't even get masks. How about recently? Drivers. I'm going to be very blunt here. We're not even allowed to take a break. We have to, I'll use a nicer term, urinate in bottles. Amazon. That's patently untrue, and that's a disgrace, and it never happened. Videos all over the internet of drivers showing it, and the company quietly said, yeah, we kind of do that. I can't stand Jeff Bezos and Amazon. What happened the day Biden came into office? Jeff Bezos, dear Mr. President, Amazon and all of my resources are standing by to help you distribute the vaccine. Literally, Inauguration Day. How gross. Now, that's me in my flight suit. Let me put on my $10,000 Armani suit and say, I love Jeff Bezos. I am glad he paid his workers shit. I am absolutely, I'm not going to give you a full Gordon Gekko rant, but at the end of the day, guys, as Gordon Gekko said in the movie Wall Street, you want a friend, get a dog. If your conscience is going to bother you buying an Amazon, go get a dog. It bothers me a little bit, but I print money for my members and my family, and it's a hold your nose trade for me. Okay, so I'm not bipolar because sometimes people are like, dude, you're hating all over Amazon. I'm like, yeah, I am. As an American, as Gordon Gekko, I love printing money. All right, here we go. What are the benefits to just trading one name? Well, guess what? You trade the same name, and you're going to potentially profit no matter what direction Amazon's going, up, down, or sideways, right? You become an expert, and you just focus on the news that impact what? Amazon, instead of a bunch of different stocks and ETFs and indexes and crypto, and you're all over the place. I have a buddy who's an Apple market maker, and I'm not joking. No alliteration here when I say he doesn't know the stock market exists. He eats, breathes, and sleeps Apple. He doesn't care about the VIX. He doesn't know what the VIX is. He doesn't care. All day Apple. That's all he eats, breathes, or sleeps. This is where I throw one of my buddies down here in Boca Raton under the bus. Doc, orthopedic surgeon type of guy, 10, 12-hour days, surgery, office hours. The guy's swamped. Wiz, I hear you're a great trader. Meet me and help me out. I need some help. I'm like, all right, Doc. I met him at Starbucks. Thank God he's a doctor, because after he booted up his laptop and turned it around and I looked at the screen, I passed out and hit my head. I'm going to sue Starbucks. No, I'm not kidding you. You ready for this? This is what his brokerage platform looked like. 33 positions in his account. 33. I was clearly I was stunned. I sat there and he's like, he tried to explain, all right, well, this one, I think that's a pot stock. I don't know what it is. But anyway, this one, it's some plastic surgery maker. I'm getting killed, but I guess I'll wait for it to come back and then get out of it. I'm like, Doc, stop talking. Shut up. You're done. I don't want to, I don't even care. Folks, I do this for a living. I'll show you my real portfolio in a couple minutes. I got about 4 names, and I do this full time. If you have, as a retail trader, more than about 5 names in your portfolio, you're not doing it right. I guarantee you. Unless you're sitting here 5 days a week, the sun up through sundown. Folks, he's flying around in an F4 Phantom, man. You have got to simplify your trading cockpit. I got to be honest with you. Up at that firm in Chicago, we had a research desk. We had like 25 people over on the side of the trading floor. Their job, they had a couple companies, like 1 or 2 per person that the firm was investing in. Their job was to eat, breathe, sleep, just that name. Do you know how many times they'd get stuff wrong? Oh, earnings are going to be a blowout, blah, blah. Okay, we'll get really large. Earnings sucked. We're getting hammered. What do you do here? You eat, breathe, and sleep that name all day and you blew it? What chance do you have as a retail trader with your 10, 15, 20 names? I'm seeing it in the chat box. A bunch of people are like, uh-oh, that's kind of me. Simplify. Folks, when you think about it, Amazon is diversified. What did I just rattle off? Pharma, entertainment, Prime, AWS, Microsoft, Air. When I go for a run around the neighborhood, I see blue trucks, man. I see maybe a brown truck once a month and maybe a couple FedEx trucks. It's all Amazon, man. the company is diversified. Now, if you're sitting here going, all right, I got it. I like what you're laying down, but still does not compute. They bit me in the neck, Wiz, first day of investing. I have to diversify. Well, I'm going to hook you up. In this service called Solo Amazon, we also trade an ETF called XLY. It's the Consumer Discretionary ETF. What's the number one holding of the XLY? Amazon, baby. So this is a good proxy for Amazon. We'll take a look at both charts here in a couple minutes, but there's your diversification. Take a look at the screen. And let me just diversify for you. Tesla, Home Depot, McDonald's, Nike, can't stand. Starbucks, can't stand. Lowe's, Target, Booking, TJX. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen is your diversification, baby. This is why I love XLY even more. Amazon and Tesla. How many of you have seen that series, what is it, History Channel or whatever, The Men Who Build America? Ford, Carnegie, JP Morgan, Vanderbilt, right? Great documentary series on the men who build America and the railroads. And these are the men who are building America part deux. They're in a space race, man, literally a space race. And to get to Mars and to put, Jeff Bezos is putting like 3,000 satellites in it. Will we be able to see the sky into low orbit? So you can get internet coverage in the middle of Zimbabwe. Did you see what happened yesterday? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, dude's a savage, man. Let me bring this up real quick because it was my chuckle for the day. So yesterday, Elon Musk, his SpaceX got awarded a NASA contract, man, a really big deal. And they're both the world's richest men, obviously, right? So check this out. Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' limp-wristed attempt to get to space and do stuff, filed a complaint with the GAO about NASA's giving it to Elon. You know what Elon Musk did? He grabbed his phone, like he often does, the Doge father, and said what? Can't get it up to orbit, LOL, and a picture of Jeff Bezos in his little Blue Origin bubble. Savage. Oh, man. That is awesome. I didn't say today when I said in general. Jeff, look at what Jeff Bezos wants to put into low orbit. Morgan Stanley says it's $250 billion worth of revenue. I didn't say today. All right, so there's your diversification. So how do we target Amazon and XLY for max profit? Well, guess what? Every Monday at nooner, we have what we call the Solo Amazon Brief. If you guys sign up today, Monday first of all, you have to because earnings are after the close. And on Monday's Solo Amazon Brief at noon, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. So Monday at noon, every Monday at noon, we have Solo Amazon, but this Monday is critical. I'm going to show you how I establish what I call a base position in the name, a beachhead, right, for all my Marines out there. I'm going to show you my portfolio right now, synthetic stock or a long call diagonal. Look what's in parentheses, protective put. Folks, I never went out to the flight line to climb in my F-18 and tell the chief to pull the ejection seat out. Hey, chief, pull the seat out, man. I'm not getting shot down today. Nothing's going to happen. I'm awesome. Put an extra 800 gallons of gas in the plane. So I'm going to show you how we put these long positions on and protect them with protective puts. Now, once we established our beachhead, we can fly. I'll show you on the options chain. We're going to fly in that F-35 Joint Strike Fighter 2.5 years out into the future from now and get bullish. 2.5 years into the future, Amazon, write down the date and time that I said this, is a $6,000 stock. What if it splits? $3,000. Okay? After we get our base position on, we trade the front months. What's the front month, Wiz? You're sitting in the front month, April, May, June. So we can be long-term bullish out a couple years using options, and we can trade the front month. Hell, I might even be bearish after earnings today. I think we might sell the news. See what happened to Apple, Microsoft, all these tech names have run up into earnings by the rumor, and now they're selling off. Amazon has had, well, we'll get into it. I'm stealing my own thunder. But if we're trading the front month and Amazon or XLY are going up, okay, some bullish spreads, some calls. What if it's going down? Who cares? 2 years from now, they're both going to be through the roof. But if it's going down in the front month, let's do some bearish spreads or sell some calls against our longs. What if it's just chopping sideways, Wiz? We got a tactic called an iron condor. It's not a strategy. There's no such thing as an option strategy. That's what stupid options traders say because they don't know the difference between a strategy and a tactic. Okay, here we go. Let me show you what I got going on as far as Amazon. Now, let's take a look at this. Amazon, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the 1 year chart because we've nailed Amazon. Let's relive a little bit of history. Here we are. This was the last of the good old days, folks. Remember December and January, December 2019, January of 2020? Unemployment at record, African American, Hispanic, female, unemployment never been lower before in the history of our republic. Stock market at record highs. Trump had just beaten another impeachment. He beat the Chinese into submission with a phase 1 trade deal. Life hadn't been better. And I heard about what was going on from some little birdies, and I said, holy shit, get bearish, get out of the market, or buy puts on the S&P and get long volatility. And I made millionaires at Top Gun Options. I'm actually writing a book called The COVID Crash, From Panic to Profit. What happened? Whoa, we all lived through it, folks, unless you're a year old. If you are, welcome to my webinar. What happened at the bottom of this thing? Everybody's like, wait a minute. People, except in Florida and Texas, we believe in individual liberty and freedom. Everybody's locked up, sitting there in their Lululemon, buying stuff on Amazon. This is sad to say, but the best thing that ever happened to Amazon and Jeff Bezos was the pandemic. Isn't it weird? You got a high school dropout, average computer programmer, who's now a biologist on endocrine, whatever. Bill Gates. Let's listen to Bill Gates. Anyway, Wiz, what happened to Amazon? Here's what happened to Amazon. First of all, let me open up the radar range a little bit more. Does everybody know, like in the history of Amazon, that they can't keep their mouth shut? How many times have you heard after Black Friday or Cyber Monday or after Amazon Prime Day or after Christmas, Amazon spokesmen come out and go, we thought last year was insane. We bought Black Friday this year. We made more money than God's ever seen in his life. Everybody remember the good old days when Amazon would talk like that? What happened? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the whole way Amazon up, what were people saying? First of all, people were losing their businesses. They were ordered to stay at home as their hair salon got lit on fire. You go to your hair salon, I'm throwing you in jail. What about the people burning it and stealing from it? It's okay. So literally Amazon, Home Depot, Target, Walmart, you could go to those places. We destroyed small businesses. What did Amazon do for the past 6 months? They haven't said a word. Did you hear anything out of Amazon on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or after Christmas? I'll answer for you. Nope. I've been trading this for decades. The only time in decades that Amazon has shut up has been this time period. That's why the stock's done this. But at the end, and you know what they've also done on these earnings calls? What happened on the last earnings call? They made $100,000 like a second. The numbers were insane. I've never seen revenue grow. Everything was off the charts. They announced that Jeff Bezos was stepping down. Oh my God. So what was the news from that earnings period? The fact that it was the best earnings period in Amazon's history? Nope. So now we're starting to get to where I wanted to get to a little bit earlier. What did you hear earlier in the week that Amazon might do? So let's talk about some things. A company that has earnings coming up enters into what is legally required, a quiet period. CEO, director, you're not allowed. What do they say on TV? Well, we're entering our quiet period, so I'm not going to comment on that. What happened Monday afternoon? Breaking news, rumors. Oh, that's a great word. Rumors are Amazon is going to announce a stock split Thursday after market close. A couple things to unpack from this. First of all, somebody has to go to jail. If you sent Martha Stewart to jail, if they do announce a split today, somebody leaked non-public privileged information, which is a crime. Unless, how many of you have watched Billions? If you haven't watched Billions, you shouldn't be trading at all. Billions was my firm in Chicago. You have got to watch Billions to get a sense for what happens on Wall Street. Maybe somebody heard that a firm or person they don't like is short Amazon going into earnings. Hey, I heard XYZ Capital is short Amazon right now. Are they? I can't stand that firm. Me neither. You got that, buddy, at the Wall Street Journal, right? Yeah. Blue Horseshoe loves Endicott. Blue Horseshoe loves an Amazon split. Rumors. Boom. Firm gets destroyed. You made money. Oh my God, does this happen on Wall Street? Now, they could, after the close today, announce a split, blah, blah, blah. Here's what's funny about a stock split. If you're a smart man like me and you recognize math, it means nothing. If you're not a smart man or woman, you go with emotion. Like, if you have $10,000 to invest and you look at Amazon and go, oh, geez, that could only buy me 5 shares. And then they split and you go, wait a minute, I have 10 shares now. You still only use the 10 grand. Yeah, but I have more shares. So the only reason I can't. When you kind of say that to people don't get the math of stock splits. It's math. All they did was you got the same amount of money to invest, but you magically have more shares. Now, I also heard a little rumor that Jeff Bezos, folks, has always said, I'm never going to have a dividend because why would I give money back? I should have taken that money and done something with it. He also has said for the longest time that he'd never split the stock. I'm hearing a little, well, I'll leave some of the rumors that I hear to myself. But anyway, folks, take a look at a 3-month chart of Amazon. In the nearly 2 decades of trading Amazon, I have never seen a month-long rip your face off rally into earnings and it keep going. It can today. Nobody lets you trade off the left side of the chart. So be present, Wiz. Namaste. I am. I'm just telling you, if we get a blowout today, that's just obscene. Of course, the stock can keep going up. Look at what Apple did today. After hours, and Facebook was getting to the moon. Did Apple end up giving most of that back? It's had a pretty violent day. There you go. There's Apple. Huge earnings beat, and we gave all of it back. It was up 4 or 5% or 3% after hours, and it gave back. So this is a Wall Street-ism because it's a Wall Street-ism. Right? By the rumor, oh my God, I think Amazon's going to split. Folks, if the rumor came out Monday that Amazon's going to split, it's already out there. The stock's gone up $150 since that rumor. What if they announce it today? Most retail traders will go, it'll go up more. And you might most likely be wrong. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Paul, but it makes it affordable for more people. Let me try this again. Paul, if you have $1,000, right, you can buy X amount of Amazon shares. When it splits, You have $1,000. You could buy. So if it's one share, like if you don't have enough money to even buy like one share of Amazon, yay, maybe you can buy it. But folks, see it. So Paul, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, ladies and gentlemen. How does it make it more affordable for more people? When the stock splits, do the people get more money? Okay, let's move on. Steven, I agree with that. Steven says, okay, that's Paul, got it. Amazon will drop over 200 points if they don't do at least a 10 for 1 split tonight. So let's go to my account. I have an iron Condor on right now. That is the top is in danger. An iron Condor is a bear call spread and a bull put spread. I need that dash line to be within these kind of uprights. I also, earlier in the week, sold the 3350 calls short, which are underwater by a lot of money. Where are they? Right here. I'm down $33,000 in those calls. Why am I holding on to them? Because of what that gentleman just said. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go through the possible scenarios today with Amazon. I've seen Amazon, in the history of me trading it, report blowout numbers and the stock implode. How many of you have seen it? I just showed you Apple. Microsoft's imploding now. Microsoft beat top and bottom and had awesome forward guidance. Somebody want to take a look at what Microsoft's doing right now? Look at Microsoft. By the rumor, wait, I thought they had excellent earnings. They did. It was already baked in here, man. Apple did the same thing. Buy the rumor, sell the news. So even if they have blowout numbers tonight, Amazon could potentially sell off, which is great because you need to join today, because Monday, if Amazon does sell off, I'm going to get more bullish on Amazon, but it's time for a break. I can be wrong, guys. I absolutely reserve the right to be wrong. Whiz, haha, they had blowout numbers and it kept going up. Good, because look at my base position. I have January 23 I'm bullish on. Let me show you the options chain for Amazon. Options. Let's deselect all these things. Look at this, guys. I'm going to hop in my Joint Strike Fighter Monday at 2 o'clock and fly all the way out to June of 2023. By June of 2023, Amazon is a $6,000 stock, not including potential stock split. And remember, folks, they might announce the split this afternoon. It might be in the future. Like, we're announcing a 2-for-1 stock split effective this date. You think the stock's still going to go up? But anyway, so you could be bipolar with Amazon. Like I said, we could be bullish all the way out here in the future, but here in the front months, neutral, bearish, bullish. I'm going to teach you how to do all of these things. And Monday at 2, after we get earnings today, is going to be an awesome live trade brief, man, because I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm actually going to add to my position because look at this. I'm old. I have Jan 23s on. They have a new options series. I can add 6 months to this. Why do I hop in my Joint Strike Fighter and fly all the way out into the future? Because it gives me years for a bullish trade to work. I have made a prediction to Top Gun Options members. In the next year to 2 years, we will see at least a 20% correction in the market, minimum. Joe Biden, in the 4 years of his presidency, we will see a recession. First of all, it's a business cycle. They happen. You can set your calendar to it. Second of all, when the market really wakes up to $6 trillion in new spending, going after the rich, going after an Amazon, never in the history of this republic has the stock market kept exploding. However, who do we have sitting underneath us? Jerome Powell. But did you hear Jerome Powell yesterday in his press conference? With the economy getting hot and overheating, he's going to have to do what? I don't care what he's saying right now. Don't worry about inflation. Don't worry about interest rates. Folks, this would be the first time in the history of our republic that the Federal Reserve made what? A soft landing. This dude yesterday, he's like, I know there's inflation. I see it, but don't worry about it. He is like standing on a basketball juggling flaming chainsaws. He ain't going to do it successfully. So, but here's why I'm rambling about this is because I want a bullish trade on Amazon all the way out into the future. So if we do get kicked in the gut a little bit in the middle, we're okay. Not only are we okay, but folks, as Amazon goes down, what do? I trade bear call spreads, but we make money on stuff going down. Also in this account, this is my live account. This is a 900, I think this is $1 million account. Maybe not today. $894,000 in this account or value. I also have XLY down here. So this is and this is also out to Jan 23. So I'm going to show you all of, I'm getting to that right now, guys. But I wanted to get in all the stuff and show you. SPI, I have a nice little bull put spread on S&P 500 out to tomorrow. I could make $4,500. That's a good looking trade right now. So guys, listen to me. Look at this. Let me just count off for you right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ladies and gentlemen, I do this for a living. This is a lot. Because when you break these open, Amazon, I can have my long-term bullish trade. I'm trading the front month. So that's kind of like 2 trades right there. Mara, own the stock, covered call. That's kind of 2 trades. MindMed shares, 1, because I just bought a shitload of this psychedelic company. Microsoft Iron Condor is technically 2 trades. It's a bear call spread and a bull put spread. SPX bull put spread, 1 trade. XLY, synthetic stock, and a front month call is 2 trades. 2, 4, 6, 8. I technically have about 10 positions on, guys. This is as spread out as I'm going to go. How many of you, and I'm not going to say your names in chat box, looked at your portfolio and I'm like, you're trading too many? Folks, simplify your trading cockpit with 1 name or 2 names. And look, so if Amazon, it's almost physically impossible that it's going to go out of business. What about the XLY? It's literally diversified with 15 different companies. Now, XLY is the spider ETF, isn't it? Why am I saying that? Because I don't want to jinx myself, but XLY could go to 0, meaning let's say you wake up one day and the select spider corporation, the CFO's on a plane to the Caymans with all the money. I don't know. The XLY could go to 0. McDonald's, Nike, Starbucks, the odds of all of those companies going to 0 are slim. And if they all go to 0, you won't care about it because we all just got nuked and vaporized and nobody's alive anyway. Not to end on a low note, but it's not going to 0. All right, so here's what I want to do because I don't want to ramble all day because I have actually a closing call where we're going to trade maybe. I have a mastermind group. I got a group of folks from the Hill, the Pentagon, hedge funds, private offices, farm. We got this mastermind group where we do opening calls. Sometimes we do closing calls where today's a big closing call. So I get all that intel. I clean it up because we're all kind of sworn to secrecy, and I toss that over the fence to my members, and it's made a lot of money for people. Solo Amazon is our newest service here at Topkin Options. It's our fastest growing and most exciting, man. All the other briefs that I do, I trade Monday through Thursday. Friday is my me day. I usually go flying in the jet, fighter jet that we have for the foundation now. So the other briefs where I cover a lot of different names, they're $167 a month. Solo Amazon, since we trade Amazon and XLY, is only $97 a month. Okay, I'm going out to watch the Panthers game tonight. I guarantee you my dinner and drinks here in South Florida is more than $97 for a month. So there's the URL, but just wait a second because I'm going to give you a 25% discount if you're interested. Okay, so what do you get? Well, that was last year, whatever, $100,000 in Amazon. I just showed you what we're doing in Amazon right now. Wiz, every Monday at noon, I work. Guess what? About 80% of our current TGO members work for a living. Duh. We got a lot of folks who are just trading full time and everything like that, but 80% of the people don't attend the briefs live. I'm going to send you a time-sensitive text and email alert. So in the middle of the brief or before or after, whenever I see a good trade on Amazon or XLY, I stop, go over to our broadcaster, I type up the text alert, and I type up and put screenshots of the trade so you get an email too. As soon as I press fire, text alert goes out on your phone. Email goes out with the screenshot of the trade, the legs, the price, and everything, along with the risk. Hey man, this is how much the potential risk is. And here now, remember, guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do. I can't give you individual investment advice, man. That's what an RIA or a broker dealer or something like that does. That ain't me. You're getting this is you sneaking on the floor of the SIBO, kind of looking over the shoulder of what a pro's doing. So you gotta take care of that stuff. What you do on your end of the computer in your bunny slippers is your own business, but you're getting an eavesdrop on what I'm potentially doing. And then after the brief, it takes about 30 minutes on my computer. It's quicker on this new one to render the recording. So I put the trade on the member page, I put the replay on the member page, and folks, after they get home from work or the kids go to bed, they'll sit down and watch the solo Amazon brief. Today, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook you up with your flight manuals, man. Primary, intermediate, and advanced. These are your this is a must. When I checked into flight school in Pensacola, Florida, I got a stack of manuals, man. They were as tall as me. And I read them cover to cover. Aerodynamics, engines, meteorology. That's what this is. Volatility. What's a call? What's a put? What's an iron condor, a straddle, a strangle? These things, folks, are required, man. These are, between us ladies, I go reread these sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute, how's gamma? Okay. So if you went to my webpage right now and tried to buy these, you'd spend $197. So let me help out the Marines and the political science majors in the audience. It's $97 for a month, Wiz. But your manuals are worth $197. Wait a minute. Stay with me. Pull out the crayons. You just made $100. Yeah. You just made essentially another month of the solo Amazon membership. Isn't that awesome? So there you go. $197. I'm throwing it in right now. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get access to the solo Amazon live trade brief every Monday at noon, the text and email alerts, the 3 skill-based manuals, and access to our online forum on our member page where you can go interact with me in between the briefs, your fellow members. Hey, man, I got a question about this, or I'm looking at this trade. It's an interactive, what we call the ready room, okay? Kevin, Amazon, synthetic stock, late to enter, up 200%. He paid $8,000. That position went up to 24 for him. Diane, up $70,000 with one Amazon contract. Scott, hey, Wiz, 20K. I have never been there. Patience, persistence. Thanks, TGO. Wiz, update on my Amazon 621 from solo Amazon. It's no longer up 100 grand on one contract. It's now up 127. My. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, though. If you're on board, man, I'm going to give you a 25% discount. Okay. So let me go take you to the pages right now. TopGunOptions.com/solo annual. Now, I'll show you the pages, but then I give I got to give you a quick brief here because TopGunOptions.com/solo dash Amazon dash monthly. All right. I'm going to give you a quick brief on the pages because there's something I absolutely welcome aboard, Brian, that you absolutely have to do. Here's the solo annual. It's annual. Okay. So it's 25% discount. I'll put this in the chat box. Do me a favor. Don't damn it. TopGunOptions.com. Hold on a second. TopGunOptions.com. It's /solo annual. That's an easy one to remember. I don't know why I'm having finger fire today. Right there. Copy. Let me paste that in here. It's today, 25% discount. You're already making money. Okay. Yep, just put it in the chat box. You got to put the whatever at the beginning. Oh man. See, it keeps reverting back to TopGunOptions.com/solo annual. Yeah, just put the HTTP, whatever it is, in front of it. And then here's the monthly. The monthly is only 97 bucks a month. Let me put this one in the chat box. / solo Amazon / monthly. There you go. Copy, paste. Now, as you're going through this process, let me tell you, I have to brief you on this because if you don't do this, you got issues. So, yeah, 25% discount. This is the URL, topgunoptions.com / solo annual. That one's easy to remember. You know, I feel like the guy on the flex tape commercial. But wait, there's more. There is more. Please, speaking of Amazon, how many times when you check out of Amazon, you get a pop-up that says, oh, and by the way, the customers also bought this. Absolutely take the full throttle training for 195 bucks. There are places that charge a couple $1,000s for this training, and it's obscene. It's a dude like on videotape, you know, using a whiteboard. It's embarrassing. What is it? 8 sessions with yours truly, going from this is the damn stock market all the way through this is a call, this is a put. I do 8 live sessions. Right now, until the next live ones, you get access to the ones we just did last month. Wiz, I have no idea what an iron condor is. You will after an hour with me. This is 195 bucks. It's a couple grand at some other places, and it's obscene. Absolutely click the 195 thing. James, good question. What's full throttle training cover? It's that's what I'm briefing you on right now. This is the full throttle training schedule. Calls, puts, covered calls, bullish verticals, bearish verticals, double verticals, diagonals, synthetic stock, iron condors. This, ladies and gentlemen, so the manuals go with this class. Okay, so give me a vertical head nod like, holy crap, I better take that. That's the answer, guys. Because in the solo briefs, folks, this week on Monday when I did that iron condor, I went through it. We went for about 45 minutes, but I built the iron condor and placed the trade. If you're going to be the guy that goes, hey, what's an iron condor and how do I do it? I'm going to be blunt, I'm going to ignore your question. The live trade briefs are where we do. Full throttle training is where we demo. So in the iron condor training, we do the full throttle training 7 o'clock at night after the market closes with a glass of wine. We're here for an hour, hour and a half, going, telling jokes and talking iron condors. Demo. This is why we're the best military in the world. That's how we train. Demonstrate, I'm going to demonstrate iron condors in a training setting. In the live trade briefs, we do. So, and I won't be rude, but when people are like, hey man, can you go through that iron condor and how to do it? I go, no, I can't. You're eating up the clock of critical trading time and talking about intelligence stuff. So you got to do the training over here, man. When we're airborne, we're airborne. Okay. So I owe just about everything in my life, first of all, to my parents, but also to the United States Navy. They developed a training system that can take a dude or a lady who's never even seen an airplane before in their life and in a short amount of time turn them into a steely-eyed fighter pilot flying off the pointy end of an aircraft carrier. That's the same training here. That's why I call it full throttle, man. Wiz, I don't even know what an option is. You will, and you'll know it inside and out and what you need to do. So please, please, please take the full throttle training, because if you don't, I'm going to blow right past you. I'm just not going to drop anchor in a live trade brief when you could have gotten the training offline where we all did it. So Solo Amazon, our newest live trading service. Again, everything else is usually 167. Since we're not doing everything else, it's only 97. Whoever just asked, yeah, you can do the monthly, solo-amazon-monthly. And yeah, after a month, shoot support an email that goes, I'm going to upgrade. I want to do the annual. As a businessman, I would love for you to be in Solo Amazon every month for the rest of your life. It's more money for moi. That's not who I am. That's why I'm like, you know what? If you're ready now, do the annual. I'll give you 25% off. I'd rather hang out with folks who, first of all, know what they want to do and are ready to execute. The tire kickers, they end up being the squeakiest wheels. It's funny because people are like, dude, you're one of the only firms that I know that like gets rid of members. I actually do. If it's just ain't a fit and you're clogging up my chat box, or it's just, I'd prefer people who are ready to go full throttle. That's just me. Anyway, folks, if you didn't learn anything in my brief today, first of all, I failed miserably. But second of all, if you did take away something, simplify your trading cockpit, man. I just showed you mine. $800,000, $900,000 portfolio. What do I have? 6 positions? 5, 6? That's busy, man. That's busy. So please, 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 at least simplify your trading cockpit. Take the rest of the next half an hour, if you thought I was going to go for an half, and take the next 25 minutes to go through your portfolio, especially if you got one of those, I'm waiting for it to come back to sell it. What? Clearly, you didn't know what you were doing when you got into it, because you should have ejected at a certain point instead of it flying into the dirt and you sitting here looking up for the helicopter to try and lift it back up. It ain't going to happen. That's dead money. Would you rather sit here on a dead stock money or deploy that into something else that can get you airborne again? I'm here to help you out, man. Hopefully, if this is your first webinar with me, you found out that I'm very passionate about what I do. Don't mean to offend, but if I'm blunt for a reason. I don't have the time, man. In fighter aviation, in trading, things move to the second. And like I said, you want a friend, get a dog. I'm here to teach you how to execute. Nothing makes me happier. It's over there on the bookshelf. You don't go to Top Gun forever, folks. You go there for like 6 months, get your ass kicked. If you graduate, you put a Top Gun patch on your shoulder and you go out to the fleet. You go back to your squadron and we call it coming from the mountain. You come down from the mountain in your flowing Top Gun robes and you teach everybody else. So I love when I get an email like, Wiz, been here for a year. I got it, man. I'm good. I'm going out to the fleet. Not a great business model for me, but it actually is, because I know you go to cocktail parties and go, I'm awesome, and Top Gun Options did it. So I actually want you to leave. It's funny, but I mean, we've been here 11 years. We have a ton of people who are still here because of what? The trade ideas, the camaraderie, the intelligence brief. One of my biggest compliments that I get from members is they get their news from me, because I have to go out and do all this independent shit. What do you think? I sit here and watch Lester Holt? News moves the markets. Politics moves the markets. I am in this stuff. This thing right here is worth its weight in gold. The folks that I have, thank God, in my network keep me from flying into the dirt. Let me just make a look at that group and make sure, because throughout the day we got shit flying like, hey, rumor this or whatever that. I think we're good. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, all right, good. Welcome aboard. Absolutely. You just email support in a month and say, hey, man, I'd like to upgrade at this point. Brian, yes, we do. I send out text and email alerts. They fire at the same time. Absolutely. Well, let me just show you. Let me show you what our member page looks like. Yeah, here's the URL for the $97 a month. You get the manuals. You have to take the full throttle training, guys. You don't have to, but like I said, I'm going to ignore you if you sit here like, I'm confused about how to do a bull put spread. Well, that's your fault. Here's the annual. It's already in there, but let me just show you our member page for Solo Amazon while we're at it. VJ, hi, I subscribed for a year. Thanks for the webinar. Welcome aboard, my friend. So real quick, before you guys go, who are signing up right now? Underneath, so this is my homepage here. Underneath member content, first of all, go over here and watch the Getting Started brief. It's going to answer every question that you would have. There hasn't been a question that I've gotten asked yet that I don't cover in that quick video. Anyway, here's the Solo Amazon page over here. But this is more importantly, let me just stop here first. For all of you that took the full throttle training, here it is, man. Synthetic stock. Oh, look at this. Full throttle session 1 from last month actually was an Iron Condor on Amazon. Double verticals, bear spreads. Ooh, Amazon. There's another Amazon learning session. Bullish spreads. So underneath member content, underneath the full throttle tab right here, if you paid the $195, go start watching these videos, because Monday afternoon at noon in Solo Amazon, we're gonna be throwing some tactics around. So go get educated over the weekend, man. Go watch all 8 of these videos. Here's the Solo Amazon member page. Well, that's a good run out of S&P 500. So this is, here's all our trades. Let me just click on the one we did on Monday. 26 April, solo Amazon, new Amazon earnings, Iron Condor. Here's see, I put it, this actually went out in an email too, and a text. Here's a screenshot of the Iron Condor that I put on with the price, the legs. Here's the risk. So for this week, I'm risking $5,900 to potentially make $4,100. Remember what I just showed you on my brokerage platform? It's kind of over here right now, but I don't care. I call this a football trade, right? As long as Amazon goes through these uprights, I mean, hell, it can even hit an upright and go in, unless you're one of the Chicago Bears. So that's kind of just a quick look of what. So as a brand new solo Amazon member, if you got the full throttle training, click on full throttle, go watch the vids, man. Get your manuals, look at the vids. By Monday, you'll be a Jedi Master. And then go click on the solo Amazon brief. Go watch the solo Amazon brief for Monday. It's on it's down here. It's on the bottom of the page. You're welcome. Absolutely, man. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. Folks, I was trading options before Al Gore invented the internet, man. I was having to call USAA on the phone and enter I had like a keypad of to sell this, man. Holy crap. So if a Top Gun options existed when I was learning how to trade options, man, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk would be working for me. I already got mine. I have a fantastic life. I do this. If I wasn't running Top Gun options, I'd be trading kind of like I do my ass off. I'm going to be doing this until my last breath. So I want to put the ladder down and help you all out, whether it's with my foundation helping veterans or you folks. I've been on both sides, man. I was a little old lowly retail trader. I went to Chicago, I love Chicago, didn't like the whole Wall Street crowd, as you can imagine, and now I'm here for you guys. Okay, all right, I got to get going. I want to get on that call, grab the popcorn after the close. Let's see what happens with Amazon, and I will see all of my members and all my new members, and it looks like there's a bunch of folks signing up. Welcome aboard. I'll see you guys Monday at high noon Eastern in our solo Amazon brief. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. Namaste. I'll see you on Monday.